I don't know, we call it that, I just don't put ghost in our. Are you still there? Yeah.
I almost got that, so you, I almost gave him, I was gonna put it, I literally on the day I was.
I know, right? Oh, but yeah. And so.
You know, both.
Yeah.
Those three.
Yeah.
That was the big thing, I was just like, I just think he's like.
Hey, everybody's gonna be turning on the recording, so just a heads up, it'll be recorded. Not that that matters, but it has no matter.
What's the presenters of your involved?
You guys ready? We're gonna call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. Like I said, I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I don't think, well, minus the 2 seats we're missing, but we got a full house. Yay. So everybody's here. Do we have anybody signed up for something tonight? We do not. Well, hot diggity, we'll blow past that then too. Yeah. Okay, action item 1, Hagan Hamilton presentation. Did you, come on up first.
Okay.
I didn't know if Jeremy wanted to say anything prior to you, so.
Yeah, I'll introduce Chris, Madam Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Chris McLaren is with Hagan Hamilton Insurance Solutions. Hagan Hamilton is our agent of record. It's been a while since Chris has come to talk to you. In fact, I don't know if you've been, was that what I said?
I don't think so.
So insurance is very important. You approved our property and other renewals back in June. I thought it would be a good idea for Chris to come and talk to you to give an overview of what that includes, as well as what he does as our agent.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Mayor Frank, councilors, and Manager Cardle, thank you for inviting me over here. My name is Chris McLaren. I'm your insurance agent. I do commercial lines and public entities all across the state. I want to start off by saying thank you for doing business with Hagan Hamilton. Hagan Hamilton has been around since 1910, so we're celebrating our 115th year anniversary this year. We're a local family-owned operation, has its roots here in Yamhill County, just in McMinnville. So thank you for doing business locally. We really appreciate that. I want to go over a few things. This should be in your packet. It's a stewardship report. One of the things I do for the cities that I am the agent of record on, which basically means that I'm your licensed professional advisor. I help advocate for you and work with the insurance companies on your behalf and help advise them and you on what kind of coverages to have and where to place them. So as you probably have read, we've renewed your policies. A majority of those policies on July 1st are with city and county insurance services, CIS. So I'll refer to it as CIS going forward. CIS was started, if you guys don't know, back in 1981 by the League of Oregon Cities and the Association of Oregon Counties. And they formed this group because a lot of public entities were trying to figure out how to find an affordable option for insurance. And so this group that you belong to does just that. They provide you an alternative, a good solution for meeting your insurance needs, and they also provide some other things too. They provide expert HR and risk management services and employee benefits coverage for member cities and counties around Oregon. They serve 98% of cities and more than 81% of counties. They help local governments conserve their human, physical, and natural resources against accidental losses. And they also work closely with us to provide expert risk management support to its members, which you are. So the bulk of your premium is associated with the property and liability policy, auto, mechanical breakdown. So the contribution to the city county insurance services or CIS package is $89,570 this year, which does represent about a $20,000 increase over last year. The renewal premium increase is driven by an increase of 55% to the property line, and a majority of that, 85% of that, was adding the bridge, the pedestrian bridge, which was 6.3 million in value. That by itself was $17,248, just so that you can break it out. So with that addition, that's primarily where your increase was. Every 3 years or so, there's appraisals that are done, and so we did adjust a number of the different property buildings to come to the appropriate appraisal rates for this year. So a lot of other cities too were handling that a little bit of an increase. You also have your workers' compensation through SAFE, and this year it decreased by $1,300. And that's primarily due to the reduction of the payroll class of the street, roads, and construction repair class. So we removed some of that from this year's premium. And then you also have a cyber policy with Cowbell. And cyber is an emerging risk that I'm glad that you guys are taking seriously, because a lot of our public entities need to have it. We're seeing a lot of increased cyber crime, and have liability insurance for your cyber it's incredibly important. So you do have $1 million worth of coverage for that liability. I do believe that CIS continues to be the best option for you. Just so you're aware, on the private side, there's only a handful of carriers that will actually insure liability, let alone the properties of different municipalities. Yes. And just to give you, I had another city asking me, well, can you go out to market? I mean, I got better auto rates because I went and shopped it. And I said, well, yes, but there's a lot of different factors. But for example, one of the carriers I went out to just for this other city, I mean, the minimum premium starting, so they won't go below this, just for liability, was $150,000. So for your liability, you are paying just over 21,000 for the year. That's a steal. So, and with that, really, that's all I had. I wanted to review. If you have any questions for me.
I noted the increase in claims. Is that claims in Dayton or overall?
For the workers' compensation, that is for the Dayton employees. So workers, you had some claims over the last few years. And I can give Jeremy details on those.
So we're like in the B stage or whatever they call that.
So over time, those claims can drop off and your modification rate can go down, which will improve your premium. Right now, if you think about a moderation, the mod factor basically is how one is, there is no difference or change. You can have less than one, which would be a discount. and anything over one is going to be a little bit of a, more cost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I'm worried,
Right,
worse than.
that's right, it can be. But you also, I mean, overall, the rate and what you're paying is pretty good. I think and I went and reviewed those on my own. I didn't see anything in there that would suggest that there's any issue with the city of Dayton, how they're managing employees. And if there was, I would talk to Jeremy about that.
Oh, I don't necessarily think that. Is SAFE the only workers' compensation you can use for?
There are other, CIS used to do, workers' compensation. That's where your package used to house that. They got out of that line pretty quick. Safe does that probably they do it much less expensive, for the consumer, and they have a better handle on managing the claims, side of it. Whereas CIS, it was a lot of, resources for them, and actually it could cost the members more in the long run. So safe is best, but you do have other workers' comp options we could look at, but safe, and in my commercial experience, it is going to be the best for you. Other
Is that
carriers,
less expensive, or is it because they give you 2 trips to the PT and that's it?
it's primarily because of their claims handling ability. They're
Get 2
pretty
trips
quick.
to PT
Yeah.
and-
Safe does a pretty good job with that. And then, their costs are lower
They
than,
have their own doctor.
yeah, and others.
Yeah.
It's not always that, yeah. The other options, we can definitely look, but from a cost perspective, it's gonna be, definitely more if we go somewhere else.
Okay, thank you.
Just briefly, Chris, on the bridge coverage, so. Just to bring this up, like we recently had somebody get the great idea. Blowing through our ballers and driving onto the bridge. We've had vandalism recently. It's not watched, so you never know what kids can do in terms of. Having fun to their thinking and jumping off of it. Is that all covered under the policy as far as all this things?
Most of those things are going to be covered. It's all perils policy. Now, they do have exclusions, and I can go over those exclusions with you if you'd like.
If it's really long, no, you don't have to.
I'll just briefly
Yeah.
touch on.
Read your side.
War is excluded, nuclear reaction.
Oh.
Loss or damage caused by resulting from vermin, termites, or other insects, contamination, rust, wear and tear, gradual deterioration. Not gonna be covered. Fungus or dry rot, not gonna be covered unless it's caused by a fire, then it would be. So
What if
you're,
it's the materials that we build a bread in, then we'd have to up to the builder then, and we would be able to use it, sure.
that would be a unique situation where, yes, we would probably look at the builder as who is at fault or negligent using. And that can happen.
With wood.
And one of the things that I can do as well is, and I encourage you to do, is send me your contracts. Let me review them from a risk management perspective. So that, we know how insurance is going to be triggered, what kind of insurance should you be requiring from your contractors or other vendors. I could help provide some
Like to
guidance
see
on that.
With all the various things going on these days, I think that would be great.
Those are just a smattering,
Yeah,
but
thank you.
but generally speaking, yes, it would be. I just want to make sure that I have that
I just had
caveat.
this vision of that guy driving across the bridge, crashing, and.
Oh.
Obviously, it's his fault, but if he does damage to the bridge, then obviously,
Yeah,
hopefully it'll fall on him, but if he's uninsured, then it
I
falls.
can't believe something.
definitely, when there's a claim or you're thinking that there could be a claim, just give me a call and we'll go over it. For sure. Any other questions? Thank you.
I will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor, we're having some technical difficulties.
So the, Denny isn't able to get on, so I need to pause the meeting.
Okay,
I'll stop the Zoom and then I'm gonna restart it. I just have to take off the security feature so that he can get on.
okay,
So that will pause the YouTube as well. Alright. So we're off at 6:44 PM. We'll be right back.
okay.